Hi, this is Rebecca from A Humble Place, and I thought to go along with my meal planning post about Plan to Eat that I would also do a short screencast so you can see what it's like to actually use the program. So when I first load up Plan to Eat, this is the screen that I see, which is where my recipes are. And usually I do my meal planning once a month. The last week of the month, I'll just lay out all of my meals for the next month. So I click on the Plan tab at the top of the screen. And you can see that I have, by default, mine is set to month here. You can also plan weekly if you'd like, and it gives you a little bit more space to plan other meals. I mainly use the breakfast and lunch section just to include ingredients that I'll need for the grocery list. And mainly that's because we pretty much have the same week or the same thing for breakfast and lunch every week. So I don't really need to do a lot in those sections. So when I'm on the month screen, you can see that I have November all laid out here, but December is looking a little empty. So because I have 7 years of meal plans in my account, I just copy whatever meals I planned for this time last year over to this year. And it's helpful because I can do seasonal foods that way, and a lot of times whatever was on sale at this time last year at the store is also on sale this time of year. But you can use it to copy really anything you want. If you want to copy your last month's plans over to this month, you can do that. Your last week's, you can do just a day. There's a lot of options for copying. And you don't even have to copy. You can also just go up here to My Recipes and search for a recipe and then just drag and drop it into whatever you want. So what I do is go up here to Edit Plan and select Copy, and I copy everything, or you can also do individual things for recipes, ingredients, and notes. And then I just do supper since, again, I don't really use it to plan lunches and breakfasts. And then I will start with the first full week of the month since we're starting here with December 4th of this year. I will go back to December of last year and find the first full week of December, and it started on the 5th. I have mine set to start on Monday. You can also choose to have it start on Sunday. So I select the 5th, and then I want to go and do the next 4 weeks. Usually this overlaps into the next month, which is helpful. In cases that it doesn't, I usually try to include the next 5 weeks. So in this case, that's December 5th to January 1st. And then I know that I'm starting on December 4th for this year, and then Plan to Eat calculates how many days that is. And that's just to the end of the year. So I click on Confirm, and sometimes it takes a little while depending on how many recipes you're doing. Sometimes it's really fast. Today it's not. And there you go. They're all in there. So it's kind of nice just to have all of your weeks laid out in advance. Of course, there may be changes. In this case, like last year, Christmas fell on looks like a Sunday, and this year it's on a Monday. So I will move my Christmas recipes over to here. Sometimes my husband travels, so I will move things around to make easier meals or meals that I know that he doesn't really like and the kids do, and things like that. So at the beginning of each week, I usually do my grocery shopping on Sundays. I will load up whatever week I'm looking at and take a look and say, okay, is this stuff that I want to have this week? And sometimes I may have moved things around in the past and I didn't include an entree, so in this case I'll have to find some kind of entree to go with this meal. So you just want to look for things like that. And then you can use the recipe tab over here to search for recipes that you want to insert in there. And then for lunches and breakfasts, I click on menus here on the left-hand side. And I have quite a few menus in here. It really depends on what you've got. But I made a specific menu that includes all of the foods that we normally eat for breakfasts and lunches. So I drag that up here to this week and drop it in and confirm. And now I have all of my lunches and breakfasts laid out, which is kind of nice. So I go over to the shop tab at the end, at the top of the screen, and I have all of my ingredients that I need to buy at the store laid out here, which is really, 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 really convenient. And then I go through and I know I have backs of acorn squashes in the pantry, so I can check that. And I know that I have some carrots in the refrigerator. I have butter. And then I can move those items up here over to the pantry so that they're not still in my list. If you're really good about keeping your pantry up to date, I'm not, you can actually plan recipes based on what's in your pantry, which is also a great idea. I usually end up just clearing my pantry every few weeks and starting over, and then just manually going through and removing the stuff that I know I don't have. It's also a good reminder to get things that I might not otherwise think of. Another nice feature is the staples list, where you can add things that might not be included in your plan, like toilet paper, paper towels, or soap, or things like that. And I have all of our things here that might not be remembered otherwise, and that I can add. So hot dogs, um, diaper cream when we still had diapers. Obviously, I need to update this list. Yogurt, ghee, stuff like that. And then I can click on up here to copy to shopping list, confirm, and it's on my list. Another option you have is to make, I go back over here to my shopping list, is to make different lists for different stores. So if you have a main grocery store that you go to, you can choose that for your favorite store. You can add a list for Costco. If you buy things from Subscribe and Save on Amazon, you can add things to that. So there's a lot of different options that you have. And then when you go to the store, they have an app that you can use and load up your items on your app and just check things off as you go through the store. If you don't have a smartphone or you don't want to download the app, you can also just print it. And this is what I used to do. And it just lays it out all out for you, which is kind of nice. It has a recipe key at the bottom so you can figure out what you're buying things for if you get to the store and you can't find an ingredient for something and decide to just skip it all together. But you can also not include that if you'd like. So it's a great little program, and I've been using it for about 7 years, and I highly recommend it, which is why I keep writing posts about it and making videos. So I hope this has been helpful, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Thanks.